Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are back. And drivers now. A bit of a wait time. I've been told that we're going to be switching, quote unquote, maybe tracks or servers here, so give it a few moments. Drivers all in the pits. Some drivers did leave, so we'll see what happens here. Apologies for the stream crashing, but we are back on the backup server and just waiting now to see exactly what's happening. Driver's now disconnecting from the server, and it's done, I believe. It's don't worry, the stream is still up. We're just we're getting ready for the race now. So how do you feel about that qualifying, everybody? Let's go. We are back. We are back. Black screen because the game is not up. We're waiting for the server to be back online. Yeah, just waiting. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the start of this of the race. I do wonder, actually, on how these drivers are going to do. Pro is very competitive, good quality, but my pedals are a little broken, and the race. Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens. At the very least. And now, let's get back into the session. Good quality. Yeah, all good. All right, so server's back up, everybody, and well, now just waiting for this downtime. Why is it black? Because my frames, they were bad for the first couple of moments, but we are back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Just waiting to join the server. Bit of downtime for the drivers to get back into the lobby, and currently we have about 28 drivers, is that correct? Indeed. In the session now. 29. It should be a rolling start for every one of these drivers. The first lap, not kind in the Nordschleife, especially in these cold conditions. That BMW just despawned out of nowhere. Did you see about my message about the qualifying broadcast? I did. But we'll see how the race goes. It's all good. And now that the majority of the drivers have now joined, we should be ready to get into the prep time for the race. Give me a moment, just need to change something. Alright, back. So, 31 drivers on the track. One of the largest tracks on the calendar. Alright, countdown 90 seconds. Just got to wait until we can drive. Well, not me. The other 31 other drivers here. 34 actually, looking at it. GT3 Pro pole position goes to George Kraus, and then GT3 Amateur pole goes to Farhan Rizkindovan. So we'll see exactly what happens. The red number plates, the red accents on the livery, especially on the rear wing, that shows that's a pro driver. The green shows it's an amateur driver. Is this correct? Oh, okay, there we go. Right. Okay. So, drivers making their way out onto the grid now. To start with the formation lap. The safety car will lead the line and peel into the pit lane almost immediately. Then green flags. As mentioned, pole for the pro drivers goes to George Kraus, and then amateur pole belongs to Farhand Risky Novan. Where is, yep, there it is. So Risky Novan in first place in amateur. Go. Just be extra careful. Go into the pits almost immediately. And yeah, okay. So safety car making his way perhaps to the front of the field. George Kraus waiting for the safety car. Christian Signoletta still in the pits. So is Jamper. Both of these drivers still in the pits. They won't take to the start of this race. Kraus sees that the safety car has made its way to the front. Perron alongside Sanyo Alpha behind these two at the start. It's a long race around one of the trickiest circuits in the world, the Green Hell they call it. And we'll see exactly what happens here. Now just waiting for the clock to run down. The tyres will be cold at the start of this race, not only due to the weather being kind of cold here today, but also the cars standing there for quite some time. The safety car peeling off, and now it's all in formation for the start of this race. George Kraus in first, as we see. The amateur drivers also behind that. It's a two-pack field. The pro drivers up first and then the amateurs. Amateur licensed drivers, I mean. But we'll focus on the front of the pro grid. Because as the safety car peels off to the right-hand side, all in formation for the start of round 3 at the Endurance Nordschleife. When does George Kraus choose to go? It chooses now, and Kraus has gotten a very good start versus the Perron. Sanyo Alpha looking in the background to maybe get a move into turn 1. But Kraus very comfortable at the start. Perron defending on the inside versus Sanyo Alpha. Sanyo Alpha chooses from the outside to switch immediately to the inside. The change corner for the endurance layout compared to the Grand Prix layouts. And it's Perron versus Sanyo Alpha for P2 at the start of this race. Sanyo Alpha down the inside immediately takes P2 away from the McLaren. But the McLaren fighting back. No. He concedes second. It's Sanyo Alpha up into P2, Nathan Perron down into third, Tater hanging on to fourth in the Porsche, and then Sada in the McLaren in fifth. Let's go down to the amateur drivers. Pavel Lindenthal in 15th place ahead of Risky Novan. They've gotten off to a decent start, but Pavel Lindenthal, oh, that was a BMW, the red BMW in the background, losing control. And that is one of the pro drivers getting mixed in with the amateurs. And that is Risky Novan into the gravel at the start of this race. He's driving back onto the racetrack, and so drivers have to avoid a bit of contact. Two cars, both Porsches making contact with the BMW there. And it's a wonder if they have any damage at the start of this race. My goodness me. It's all going off here in the amateur grid here as the Porsche of Carlos Contos trying to go down the inside. That's a Huracan off the track. as that is the 56 BMW trying to get a move past on Carlos Contos, just up ahead as well. Let's see what's going on. We've got Pavel Lindenthal at the back of Artur in the Pro Car. And you see Lewis Walker making a move up into 6th place, getting ahead of Rafael Laseda. Laseda now under pressure from Alex Sofa. Sofa, we saw the McLaren going off into the curb, the wide curb, fighting between the midfield in the Pro class. Now, Alex Sofa under pressure from Kimani Nignon. Nignon in the BMW practically pushing the Audi along through this section of corners. And Kimani moving to perhaps look for a move down the inside of this left-hander here. The right-hander, oh, it's a 2 collision car and a car and a BMW. Audi and BMW making contact, and that hasn't gone well for either Kimani Nignon or Sofa at all. And thus, Nignon and Sofa both going down places. Sofa now dropping into the amateur field pack due to that contact. Side by side, George Kraus is in the wall. George Kraus, after being in pole position, is now somewhat beached in the gravel traps, and he's dropping down several places here, and he's gone back into the pits. It's been an unfortunate first lap for the pole sitter in the Pro class, and now Samuel Alfa promotes himself up into the race lead. Nathan Perron not giving this up. He's right at the back of the BMW. Perhaps the McLaren faring a lot better through these more technical corners due to its mid-engine layout, but we'll see exactly what happens. You saw how much he closed up during that technical section. Let's see exactly what happens. We've got Sviatkovic down in the amateur. That was the Hurricane going off at the Grand Prix layout, but he's gone down the inside of Noah. Around a very not a place or track to see an overtake, but he's gone for it. Martinello now half a second behind the other 296, but riding over that curve, it's not healthy. And now putting pressure. This is for 26th place, mind you. Trying to go down the inside of Indy Sunset Sofa. We saw him go off track, and Martinello making a mistake going very deep. He's let Sofa through, and subsequently also lets the green Porsche through. Let's go back up the field where we see Alfie Bayvan looking for a move versus Lewis Walker. Walker saw his teammate in the gravel trap, and he's going to lose a position to Alfie Bayvan. Bayvan making good progress up into the top 5 now. They swatch to Signoretta because Signoretta at the back of Rafael Laseda. But I believe Laseda just made a move previously to get ahead of this Ferrari. The Ferrari goes way too deep and onto the grass. He hasn't hit the wall. Good job on him, but he's going to perhaps be under pressure from the green Porsche. That is one of the Audis. I believe that is Alex Sofa making a mistake, and he's now facing the wrong direction in the green hell. It's gone from bad to even worse for the Pro Class driver, and he's going to get back onto the track relatively safely without any problems. Bayvan, after making a move on Lewis Walker, is now all over the back of Andrei Solani. This Porsche showing its pace, but a bit of oversteer at the exit of the corner. He's putting a lot of pressure, pushing this driver along. This is for top 4. And when will Alfie Bayvan choose to go for the move? Bevan driving for Samurai Motorsport. Andres Solani in the Yellow Huracan. We'll need to put up a supreme defense versus a very quick Porsche driver, and he's all over the back here, heading down into towards very technical section. It's super close between these two drivers, my goodness me. Tater going up into second place, getting ahead of Nathan Perlon. That was a move that we just missed, as we see. Oh, I thought that was a move for Alfie Bevan. Serrani's doing very well to not crack under the pressure the Porsche is giving. Oh no! That's Alfie Bevan into the wall. A bit of oversteer, perhaps going onto the curb on the inside and losing the car. That has certainly damaged his car, and he's going to be under pressure in this long straight by Lewis Walker. Walker got passed by Alfie Bevan on this same lap, and Lewis Walker is going to make an easy move because of, well, Bevan's compromised exit. Say, oh, Bevan's gone from the track. Nathan Perron versus Tater, heading down into the final section of the corners. This is the McLaren versus Porsche, side by side, they committed! Oh no! Oh no! It's all gone wrong for both of these drivers. Second and third place, crashing into each other. A disagreement, and Tater Pro and the McLaren into the barriers. And these two drivers will have to wait for some of these drivers to get past before they can rejoin the racetrack. But my goodness me, that's not what they both wanted at all. Oh. Perlon is now back onto the racetrack, but how much damage is on either of those cars? Bevan disconnected from the server. Now, Alpha in a very comfortable race lead, 7.6 seconds ahead of Andres Rani. Lewis Walker promoted up into P3 due to second and third of formerly Perlon and Tater colliding on the previous lap. 11 seconds the gap between him and the race leader. It's only one lap has elapsed, and so much drama in both classes has happened. 57.5 minutes left to go. Tater rejoins the race in 9th place so far, and he'll be looking to try to climb up from where he has lost. How much damage does he have? Is another question in all of itself. Let's go down to 14th place, where Prakesh is at the back of this three-car battle up in front. Looking pretty heated here. It's Reynaldi Ado at the back of Arta. Oh no, that is Sanyo Alpha. Is that Sanyo Alpha? No, that is Lewis Walker. No, Lewis Walker is cutting across grass. I believe that was a lapped. Am I looking at that correctly? Yeah, George Klaus. George Klaus trying to unlap himself after. Oh god, is that Tater in the barriers? It's Tater in the barriers on the entry to the Nordschleife, and Tater, I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, facing the wall at the entry of the Nordschleife. It's gone from even bad to worse in terms of Tater's race here. 15th place overall he is. Kimani Lignon 3 tenths behind. Christian Bejan. Oh, a set of courses crashed. I'll rejoin. It's fine. Give it a second. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. The Nordschleife apparently is a demanding track on your PC. Who knew? Sarcasm. How many penalty points does it go rack? We'll see how the stewards think about the incidents that we've seen on the first lap and the first couple, first lap in the Grand Prix layout, pretty much. Sorry about this downtime. It's going to take about a minute or so to join back into the game proper. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we are back in the lobby with 54 minutes remaining on the clock. That's the game loading in everything. Sorry, give it a moment. Don't worry, it's not your PC. And any moment. Race has barely started and like half the grid have had major crashes. It's the nature of the Nordschleife. I mean, you can't... I mean, like, it's more like a chain reaction of events happen. Alright, we're back. The frames are back. Okay, let's have a look exactly what is happening on the grid currently. Oh, that is Carlos Contos facing the wrong direction, perpendicular to the racetrack. Has to make sure that he doesn't get in the way. Or it's very lucky that Carlos Contos getting overtaken by somebody of Tristan Ardenshire saw that instant up ahead. Pavel Lindenthal at the back of George Kraus. Kraus has now made his way up into 9th place. Is that correct? He must have been lapped, but regardless, he's up into 9th place, and Pavel Lindenthal, the amateur driver, well, he's... The rule is that the pro drivers have the right of passage versus the amateur drivers, but Pavel Lindenthal is all over the back. What is this camera angle? There we go. Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, looking here, Carlos Contos making his way past Tristan Ardenshire. Sanyo Alpha in a very comfortable race lead ahead of Andrés Solani. Right. Meanwhile, in the top 10, Marcel Fuchs at the back of Lewis Walker going down the inside. Lewis Walker not picking up a defense. In fact, Fuchs getting past. That was actually his teammate George Klaus getting a move past as well. Kraus now all over the back of Marcel Fuchs. We know how quick Kraus is. He's going to be wanting to see the back, the front of this 296. Not too far away now. And Kraus desperately looking for any sort of way to get past this 296. This has also backed up traffic to both Walker and is that Lindenthal as well? Yeah. And Kraus now making a move past Marcel Fuchs. Marcel Fuchs' fight is with Pavel Lindenthal, not with Lewis Walker, not with George Kraus, because those two classes are counted separately. So, Fuchs now getting past Lewis Walker here. Daniel Barron moves out of the way of George Kraus. Kraus versus Baron. Wait, oh, the leaderboard is finally updated. Yeah, George. I thought that leaderboard was wrong. Yeah, there we go. It's just fixed now. That was odd. Sia Prakesh at the back of Rinaldi Ado. Lindenthal at the back of Marcel Fuchs. This is looking very spicy here. Focus on the Mercedes and the 296. Oh, and also that is one Lewis Walker trying to perhaps get past. No, Lewis Walker's in the pits. That's George Klaus getting involved in this battle here. And Pavel Lindenthal choosing to take the roundly outside move, and it's looking pretty simple for the pink Mercedes, but no. Marcel Fuchs going alongside, and the BMW also getting slightly involved here. But Marcel Fuchs still defending this, the pink Mercedes, looking for the move down the inside of Pavel Lindenthal. Wow. A very, very close battle here. We have several drivers in the pits. Oh, that is Marcel Fuchs and Pavel Lindenthal making a collision at the Grand Prix section of the circuit, and Pavel Lindenthal the worst off compared to Marcel Fuchs. Ado versus Given. And Prakesh also involved in this two-car battle. Edo down the inside, and it's a swift move to go up into 8th place on the road. Several drivers have come into the pits, by the way, to just add on to the why the leaderboard looks very different. Given now under pressure from Prakesh. And Given might look for a move here against Ado, but no, there's just not enough space on either side to fit two cars in this technical section of the Green Hell. And Prakesh now looking for a move on the Porsche, front bumper to rear bumper within these three cars. Prakesh under a 10th away from George Given over the crest, who will see side by side. Prakesh on the outside, Given on the inside, and Given still ahead as Prakesh backs out of what could have been a dangerous accident. You can't really, I mean, you can take risks around the Nürburgring, but sometimes it ends off a lot worse than you may have expected. And meanwhile, while this battle was happening, Ado pulling away from George Given to now a gap of 1.4 seconds. Let's move to Arthur, because Arthur's at the back of Daniel Barron. Both Arthur and Barron are pro drivers, but they found themselves out of the top 10, and they're looking to try to make up back positions. Martianello at the back of Kevin T. Jr. We haven't talked about Kevin T. Jr. that much in this race. Martianello looking for any sort of passage past this M4. And Prakash. And not Prakash, Martinello, sorry. We'll be looking... Well, speaking of Prakash, he's also at the back of George Given. Some close battles here. The timing page interval for Aryan Shah is glitched, so don't pay much attention to that. But yeah, Ado now pulling ahead of George Given by a further 1.2 seconds. 2.7 seconds the gap between Given and Edo now. And meanwhile, while Prakash is trying to figure out where he can go for an overtake, P11 of Risky Buditama is catching up to this fight. And Risky Buditama is catching up at a rate of knots. He was out of the screen not too long ago, and now his presence is showing here. What a race so far indeed. It's been a very intense race. I mean, what do you expect? The Nürburgring, it throws up a decent race here and there, surely. Right. 43 minutes left to go. Buditama now makes a 2-car battle a 3-car battle. Oh no! Oh no! A rogue pink Mercedes on the track! And that is, wow. That is Paolo Lindenthal stranded in the middle of the racetrack. I don't think anybody expected to see that. It's a blind exit. You don't see this coming. And, well, bit of contact happening to that car. Because of the contact, Prakash is demoted down into 10th place. Risky Buditama now is 6 tenths to the back of George Given. But wow, what was that? That was interesting to see as Buditama taking risks over the curbs there. Massino Martinello disconnecting from the server. He may be done for this race as well. And Buditama all over the back of George Given, front bumper to rear bumper. And Buditama tucks in at the back of this Porsche, heading into the back stretch. Let's try to go on board with Buditama here. As he's pulled off to the right hand side of the Porsche. And the proximity arrow and the mirror given concedes the place to Risky Buditama. As George Given pulls into the pits now. Tata Pro trying to fight back. He's now climbed up back into the top 10 pending pit stops. We saw that was Prakash coming into the pits, I mean. Andres Solani, because of Sanyo Alpha's pit stop, is now promoted into the race lead ahead of Kimani Ninion on the road by 26.7 seconds. Sorani, your new race leader for now. Sanyo Alpha, the back of Christian Bejan. One has already pitted that of Sanyo Alpha, and he'll go down the inside of this fast chicane. And simple enough move for Sanyo Alpha. Risky Novan versus Tristan Ardian Shire versus and 16th place Arta, who's a pro driver. Risky Novan, who was pole position in amateur, now faces in 18th place overall. Risky Buditama will want to move past Reynaldi Ado as well. He's catched up to the back of the Huracan. And this is for position in amateur. Marcel Fuchs currently leads the line in the amateur class, pending pit stops of course. Oh, and that is one Audi facing the wrong direction of Tristan Ardian Shire. Made a mistake at... Can't figure out where this is, but yeah, Tristan Ardian Shire losing places to both Perlon and Prakash. Perlon being let go by Prakash indicating to the right hand side. The amateur drivers shouldn't be necessarily fighting with the pro drivers. It's supposed to be an indicate and move kind of thing. So, some drivers have got the moment. Oh, Risky Buditama getting past Ado as Ado made a mistake. And simple enough move for Risky Buditama. The question of when does Andres Solani come into the pits? Go far. We haven't talked much about him, but he's made a silent way up to P2, pending pit stops. And he's 10 seconds ahead of Sanyo Alpha, so for sure he'll be behind Alpha. And maybe Bejan as well. He could come out in P5 though, just behind Nignon though, which would be a good position. Making a quiet race so far. Not the fastest way. As Carlos Contours, I believe he may have a small problem. He is slow. Currently in 14th place. Slower than that Porsche GT3 can go. So either damage or trying to recover from an accident previous. And Contours letting past Arthur. Alex Sofa wanting to look past Indy Sunset. Sunset in 11th place, the amateur driver. The proper thing to do would be to indicate for Indy Sunset as they head into the carousel. And Indy Sunset subsequently gets out of the way of Alex Sofa. Noah, this is for position. Noah versus Ado. Ado. Under pressure, come on. Let's see what happens here between these two drivers. It could get heated very quickly. Oh, but the Ado just makes a mistake and onto the grass, and it's a very simple move for Noah. Up into 9th place overall. Lewis Walker at the back of Kevin T. Jr. And Walker choosing to go on the top of the carousel to go and move past Kevin T. Jr. Alex Sofa flashing his headlights to indicate Noah that please move out of the way as Mercedes pulls off to the right hand side, and very simple enough, but Noah not realizing that Sunset was a competitor. Sunset moves up into 10th overall. Christian Bejan and Kimani Nignon into the pits as Lewis Walker's disconnected from the surfer. Marcel Fuchs also joining into the pits. Serrani continues on, so does Gofar. Sanyo Alpha now up into 3rd place on the road. Perlon getting past George, Risky Novan, I mean. Tata into the pits for the first time, I think. This is what the pit lane's looking like, and this lap has shown that there's quite a few pitters here actually. Tata in the pro class. In the pit, so is Kamai Nignon. Sanyo Alpha is catching up to the back of Gofar, regardless if he's pitted or not. "31 minutes left to go." Kimani Nignon has disconnected from the server. That's going to jeopardize his chances at perhaps a podium in this race. Alex Sofa looking to get past Christian Ardian Shire. Ardian Shire makes it easy. Let's pass Alex Sofa. Alright, okay, so we still have Serrani who hasn't come into the pits. Gofar hasn't come into the pits. that's Arthur going wide in the BMW. Trying to look away, to look past Tristan Ardian Shire, look for a move. Not possible just yet. Nathan Perlon versus George Given. It's the amateur drivers versus the pro driver. The guidelines say that the amateur driver has to indicate to the pro driver that he can get by. And Perlon trying to figure out a way past the Porsche, and Nathan Perlon now gets past. Noah versus Marcel Fuchs. Arthur looking up ahead to still see Tristan Ardian Shire. Looking to get past Samuel Alpha, catching up to Gofar up into now 4.3 seconds. It was about 5 at the Grand Prix layout on this lap. Slowly catching up. Besides, Gofar and Solani both need to pit regardless of what happens. Tater disconnected from the server. That's his race over. Christian Senior, so disconnected from the server. That's his race over as well. Arthur losing time to Tristan Ardian Shire, so doesn't look like that he's going to perhaps go for a move in the near future. So Lianyi finally comes into the pits for the first time in this race. 42 seconds behind him is Maulana Gofar. Solani sets the fastest lap while coming into the pits. That lap that he just did. Pushing very hard. Getting the most out of what he had left. Samuel Alpha's now catched up immensely through the Nordschleife section. George Klaus now sets the fastest lap with an 8:10.173. That is about 4 seconds quicker than Sorani, who just came into the pits. As now Goffard finally in the pits, Samuel Alpha can make his way back into the race lead. Oh, and that is Trishan Ardian Shire making a mistake onto the grass as Indy Sunset gets into 13th place. Risky Buditama now comes into the pits. Solani exits out of the pits only, is that correct, 5 seconds away from the race lead. Solani pitting later has done favours for Sorani. Goffard exiting out of the pit lane. In 3rd place still. Not losing a place to Christian Bejan. Goffard's done immensely well. I haven't realised this until now, but he is a amateur licensed driver, so he's fighting it up with the pro drivers in terms of race pace, and well done to him. Christian Bejan in 3rd place in pro, 4th place in overall. Marcel Fuchs into the pits, Noah into the pits. And Goffard leading in amateur by a very comfortable margin, about 28 seconds, 29 seconds ahead of Rizky Buditama. Given versus Fuchs, a bit of contact, front bumper to rear bumper, a flash of the headlights signalling perhaps it's disapproval, perhaps, or a, well, who knows, but we'll see exactly what happened. Marcel Fuchs exiting out of the pit lane just ahead of the Porsche. .21 minutes left to go. George Given now losing a bit of time versus Marcel Fuchs, but Given in 8th place currently, doing well for himself. Not too many battles out on track. Oh, but Samuel Alpha versus Andres Sorani. Sorani coming out of the pits 5 seconds away from Samuel Alpha. He's catched up slowly but surely. 3.5 seconds the gap between the race leaders. Interesting to see that. Andres Sorani looking pretty comfortable in that Huracan. And Suranyi is closing up even further here. 2.7 seconds. In the meantime, while we've been focusing on this camera. Alex Sofa, meanwhile, at the back of Risky Novan. And just over a second splits the two drivers. Under a second now as they go through the technical section, and Risky Novan all over the curb at the exit. Andrea Sulani versus Sanyo Alpha. The gap between the race lead has closed down considerably here. And now Sanyo Alpha is just half a second away from losing it. He's got to put up his defenses with 18 minutes left to go. And Sanyo Alpha is going to start feeling a little bit of the pressure here. Three tenths the gap as they head into a hairpin, and Sorani. Oh, wow. You didn't think that this was going to be cooked up after a fair, quiet 10 minutes or so. But the battle for the race lead now commences. 6 tenths the gap between the two cars. On to the back stretch. Five tenths split the two cars. 4 tenths now. What can we expect to see in the battle for the race lead here? Solani. 4 tenths. Heading into the Grand Prix section now on the next lap. 16 minutes left to go. 16 and a half minutes left to go. This could be... This second to last lap. It's a very long lap, but second to last yet. Andrea Surani's representing Flying Pigs Racing, Ultimate Racing for Sanyo Alpha. And, well, 2 teams, 2 cars, and 2 drivers. Well, let's see exactly what happens. Heading into the Grand Prix hairpin. Getting the better X, I believe, is Andrea Surani. Fifteen and a half minutes left to go. How long will this battle take? Who will go for the move, both defensive and offensive? Oh dear. Pavlis Vietkovic disconnects from the server. That's his race done and dusted. Samuel Alpha's got to put up a defensive drive for the ages to keep him behind for the next 15 minutes or so. Angelo Sorani has done so well to catch to the back of this car. Catching up is one thing, passing is another, and that is especially so around this particular track. It's not easy at all, to be fair. But the exit and front bumper to rear bumper, I believe this is the closest that Sorani has been to Sanyo Alpha. Just under 2 attempts split the two cars. In this situation, would you rather beat the hunted or the hunter? And in this position, especially around this circuit, I think I'd rather be the hunter. Not sure about you guys. Oh, and the gap is closed up considerably through those two corners between the race lead and second place. But Sanyo Alpha's doing just enough to stay ahead. Oh, and that is Sorani making a mistake. He's collided with the barriers. And that could be his charge for the race lead to be over. That is if he does have any considerable damage to that car, but a minor misstep perhaps. He is catching back up to the BMW regardless. Wow, okay. This is getting extremely close. Ado disconnecting from the server. He's done for this race with about 12 minutes left to go. And, well. Heron, you can see on the other camera here, at the back of Bidithama. And Perron gets past Buditama. He's up into 5th place in this class. Both are in separate classes, so regardless of what happens, they wouldn't be fighting each other for actual position. Sorani's contact with the wall has somewhat curbed his progress to the back of Sanyo Alpha. He is catching up to the back of Sanyo Alpha at a lesser rate than he used to. Oh, but have I said it way too soon because, well, now he's all over the back of the BMW. But you've got to say, well done to Sanyo Alpha for not cracking under the pressure from a fast, raging Lamborghini Huracan. It's almost like he knows what he's doing. And Serrani now at the back of the BMW Ultimates car. Rifki Solkanane disconnecting from the session. He's done. 10 minutes on the clock as we head towards the penultimate end of this race. God, it's... the TV cams doesn't do its service. It's so close here. Oh, and Serrani's gotten the better exit out of the mini... I like to call it the mini carousel. Oh, is there a move? No. He has to back out of it. But as we head onto the back stretch, Slipstream, who has a better straight line speed, the V10 or the V6 I think, at that front of that BMW. And the Slipstream, look at it. It's gaining even closer. The Huracan moves to the left-hand side of the racetrack. And will he get just ahead here? And the Huracan gets the move pass to take the race lead away from Sanyo Alpha. Sanyo Alpha, though, tucking into the Slipstream behind the Huracan, does have another opportunity to perhaps get a move done into this next section. Oh, it's extremely close. But Solani taking the race lead at the start of what I believe is the final lap. Sanyo Alpha has now just got one more lap to try to get past Andrés Solani. And both will be starting to feel the pressure. Solani, for the first time, will feel what it's like to be hunted rather than being chased down. What are his thoughts? I have to pull away as quickly as I possibly can through the Grand Prix section. But Sanyo Alpha, visually, might be losing a bit of time here. This will be an intense final lap battle. Just under half a second splits the two race leaders. Let's go on board with Sanyo Alpha for the majority of this final lap, because this is the main thing what we want to focus on. Just keep an eye on the car position of the race leader and how Sanyo Alpha is trying to combat with perhaps a little bit of dirty air, perhaps a little bit of mind games between the two cars. Much easier to be hunting, definitely. Serrani, though, is keeping the gap of just over 0.6 of a second, now 0.7 of a second. But will it stay that way forever? Sorani now pulling away to over a second. It's not over till it's over, but through a third through this lap now. The more the slider falls in favour of Andres Serrano. There's not much that Alpha can do. Christian Bejan. Oh, what's okay? That's just okay. Ignore that. That's extremely odd. I thought that was a move there. And just eking that little bit of extra performance. It is Sanyo Alpha losing time. Sees the race leader, but can't do much about it, unfortunately. Sanyo Alpha is making a last dash charge. The gap is now to 0.5 of a second as we head into the final half of this lap. Serrano's gotten way too deep in into that corner as we head into the final time, the carousel. But is it enough? This gap, is it enough for Sanyo Alpha to catch back up and get past? Well, we'll see exactly what happens here. Two minutes left to go. The gap after just over an hour for the race lead in Pro is just under a second. The task that these drivers have had to be able to do around this very hard and particular track. Well, we have another lap. They crossed the line with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. The average lap time in the race was about 8 minutes and 15. I believe it might go... I think this is the final lap. But of course, you can't just be too sure. The time now down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. I believe that this will be the final lap. With 50 seconds on the clock, they make their way onto the back stretch. Sanyo Alpha 6 attempts away from Andres Serrano. It's going to be close, mind you, if it's going to be the final lap of this race or not. If it's not the final lap, then Sanyo Alpha will have another lifeline to get into the race lead again. But, well, if it isn't, and it's looking very likely that this is the final time that they will get onto this back stretch. 25 seconds. 20 seconds now. 14 seconds. It's looking like it with about 10 seconds left to go. Will they have another lap in 4 seconds? It's so close. But it will be Angelis Solani, the clock just ticked under 1 second before they came across the line. Solani takes the race win with Samuel Alpha in second place, a gap just over a second. Wow. Angelis Solani at the penultimate lap of this race on the back straight, going for a move, a simple move, and Samuel Alpha wasn't able to close up and get past. In third place, it will be, at least in overall, Gofar. The amateur licensed driver has done insanely well here. We'll take the win in amateur. As long as he doesn't make a mistake in this final section, which, honestly, he's got no pressure from behind, so he'll be fine. Gofar in the amateur class will get to the end of this race winning in this class. It's insanely well done. He beating out, in fact, the majority of the pro drivers here, not getting involved in too many incidents. It's a world-class drive for him. Well done to Kenang Maulana Gofar. Nathan Perlon will take the podium in pro, 4th overall. And maybe thinking what could have been. He was in second place after the end of the first lap, but regardless, he will be pretty happy after surviving all of the chaos. Rizky Buditama, second place in class, 5th place overall. Well done to Rizky Buditama. Alex Sofa will come across the line in the top 5. Top 6 overall, I mean. Marcel Fuchs, well done to Marcel Fuchs. He takes the podium in amateur. Well done race for Marcel Fuchs. Rizky Novan finishes 4th in amateur. George Given will finish just ahead of Tristan Ardian Shire to finish in the top 5 in amateur. Well done to George Given. 9th place overall, 5th place in amateur class. Indy Sunset and Prakash getting very close together over the line. But it's Indy Sunset. Oh, okay. After. It's all good. Oh, okay. It's all good. But I believe Noah facing the wrong direction this final lap. He's not. Oh, wow. Okay. It's fine. All good. Ping issues though. Yeah, Angelis P1, Kenang P1 in their respective classes. Angelis Soranyi first place in pro. So far in P1 in amateur. Let's say that comes across the line now. We've still got some drivers still out there trying to complete their final laps. But it's also, what could it have been for George Kraus, fastest in qualifying, poleman by about 3 seconds, but that instant that he had beached at the end of lap 1 and had to tow back into the pits and got, well, a natural penalty in terms of race time because of that. George Kraus will finish in 16th place, but he was hoping for maybe a bit more than that, to be fair to him. Well, not 16th place because some drivers have left, but you know what I mean. Oh, Kevin T. Jr. making a mistake on the final lap, but it won't really matter. Seda coming back into the pits. Noah, the next one to come across the line now. Noah now comes across the line to finish his race. Well done for completing an extremely tough race, regardless of what exactly happened. Carlos Contos facing a few issues in this race, but regardless, finishing. Well done to Carlos Contos. Jamper also finishing this race. Well done to him. It's a tall ask to not just finish in the top, but also finish at all, really. Kevin T Jr. will come across the line next. Well done to Kevin T Jr. Arthur stuck on the wall, to say the least. We do have 3 cars left to complete this race. Arthur, Christian Bejan, and George Kraus. Oh. Arthur now getting to the end of his lap. Oh. Arthur. I think done with this race, practically. Finished P3 in class. P5 in class. The podium was Gofar, Rizky Buditama, and Marcel Fuchs in amateur. But it's a good result, nevertheless. Top 9 in overall. George Kraus coming across the line. And the final car to finish. Will be Christian Bejan. He hasn't been enjoying this race at all. Neither of the red BMWs have enjoyed it, to be fair, but they finish regardless, and that will be the final car across the line. Well done to all the drivers that finished. Well done to the race winners, as well as the podium finishers in their respective classes. And that will be it for this race. Thank you very much for watching Project Dream, the GT World Challenge. It's been a very interesting race here at the combined circuit here at the Nordschleife, but regardless, a very enjoyable one, and final 10 minutes were filled with a last lap battle between the race leaders. And that'll be it. Have a good rest of your weekend, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.